Hey guys, Jeff here from Jeff Tack, and I wanted to do another video today on a knife that I recently picked up. This is the Kershaw Natrix. This is a Chinese folder flipper. Um, it's in 8CR13 MOV. It's got G10 handles. Got a pretty cool, was it like a sheep's foot style blade? A relief fuller here on the top of it. Um, it's pretty basic. It's got a frame lock. It's called a subframe lock. Uh, it's pretty snappy. It's got a good size to it. It's got a good weight to it. But what's really interesting to me about this thing is how thin it is, how inexpensive it is, and how big it feels when you have it and you try to use it. So real quick, I wanted to compare it to some other knives in the same line. So this is one that I've picked up a while back, and you can see this is the Kershaw Link, the 1776. It's got a similar blade profile. The difference here is number one, this is American made, right? So good old fashioned America, yeah. And then it is quite a bit heavier, quite a bit thicker in the pocket. This one does have a full steel liner, and it's aluminum handles, so it's going to be heavier, and I understand that. Another knife to compare it to in the same size would be like the CQC 6K. You can see they're, absolutely identical as far as size and shape goes. Here's one, the Kershaw Knockout. Same blade length, a little bit longer handle. Again, American made knife. There you go. The other thing about this one is this is also a subframe lock. So what it's doing is it's using a steel lock right here, lock bar, in an aluminum frame. And that's how they're able to reduce a lot of the weight and still maintain a lot of the strength. So a couple other knives here I wanted to compare it to. There's the 940 Osborne from Benchmade. Here's a mini Griptilian. And this one here. So this is the Kershaw. This is another Kershaw. This is the Link. This is like a $10, $15 knife. I'm sorry, not Link, the Injection. This is like a $10 or $15 knife. And, for a beater knife, this is a pretty good knife. Not had any complaints with this, just a basic flipper. So, I have mentioned in the past that, I wear slacks during the day. And, if you've seen any of my other videos, I don't look for big knives as far as EDC knives go. So this has been my go-to knife, the Zero Tolerance 0450 in titanium. This is a frame lock as well. And the steel on this, I think it's S35VN. Yeah, S35VN. So it's a really good steel. But the thing that I like about this is its weight, and I like the blade shape, but I also like how I can get, my hands, I can get a full grip on the handle and still have about a 3.5 inch blade as well. So when I got this, I didn't really think much of it. I was interested by the way that it looked. I was interested by the fact that they were going to be coming out with some new ones that they had announced at SHOT Show. I was watching some video of SHOT Show, and one of the things that interested me about that is they're going to be coming out with an American version or American made version of this knife, as well as several other versions that are not assisted opening. This one is an assisted opener, little flip there like a light switch, and bam, it comes out. It's assisted opening, which for some people is no big deal. I personally like a flipper that is not assisted. Just I think it feels better quality. And this thing, man, it just flips out. It's on ball bearings. It flips out like crazy. So when I heard that they were going to be releasing the Natrix in ball bearings, I figured, hey, let me check that out. I want to see what it's all about. And I've been more than pleasantly surprised. So the thinness of this, the fact that it's G10 only with a subframe lock means that they've been able to reduce a lot of the weight out of this guy. So this thing weighs only 2.9 ounces, and it makes it extremely light, which I think this is also in the 3-ounce range. We can put it on the scale real quick and do a side-by-side comparison of the two. So the 0450 titanium is coming in right at 3 ounces, and the Kershaw Natrix 2.9 ounces on the dot. So, when it comes to the weight of these guys, this 0450 has been, my go-to knife whenever I am dressed up, wearing slacks, etc., etc. But I found since I've got this is going in my pocket far more frequently. And the reason being is I like this blade shape. I also like the blade profile. I like the weight of it. I like the thinness of it, which, this is obviously a fairly thin blade as well, but it's concentrated thin. Whereas this is a dispersed, profile of a blade shape. When you put it in your hand, it feels like it's a bigger blade than it really is. I mean, it's got a good percentage of blade to handle. When you get it closed here, it goes almost all the way to the end, but because of this sheep's foot where the blade actually sticks out past where you would think it would end in the handle, it actually goes further through. So, it's just been really a comfortable knife to carry, a confidence-inspiring knife. It's a good slicer. That tip really digs into whatever it is, whatever material you're cutting, whereas this one's got more of a swoosh on the end. So your cutting surface, unless you're all the way out to here, is going to be focused more on the curve, whereas here you'll have it focused all the way out on the end. Different materials here. Obviously this has got a better steel on it. This is HCR 13 MOV. The ones that they're going to be coming out with in the future are going to still be the HCR 13 MOV, but they are coming out with one that's going to have a copper handle, which I think is an interesting material choice. And it'll have a D2 blade. So I know a lot of people like that D2 steel. To me, that'll be an interesting one when they get out with that. And then along those same lines, when you compare American-made knives, which, I do have an affection for American-made knives, especially in the Kershaw line. They've been a good customer-focused brand. I think they listen to their customers and they put out knives that people do enjoy. I am looking forward to the American-made version of the Kershaw Natrix, which they've named the Kershaw Bare Knuckle. So I don't know what the expected release date of that is going to be, but it's going to be a flipper on ball bearings. It's going to use I think it's the KVT ball bearings. So again, it'll be another flipper, non-assisted opening. Like, this is an assisted opener. I like this knife a lot, but again, I just think that assisted opening knives they're kind of a cop-out, personally, for not having a more sophisticated pivot, in this case, ball bearings. So I think this, really good knife right here. All of the zero tolerance knives have been good knives, and I'm looking forward to the Kershaw Natrix when they come out with their ball bearing pivot system as well. That's all I have, guys. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments section below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And with the new rules coming out with YouTube, not monetizing any videos for creators under 1,000 subscribers, more than ever, your subscriptions really do have an impact on the content that you watch. If you see a content creator that has under 1,000 subscribers, just know that everything he doesn't make a dime for it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate that. That helps support me in the content that I'm trying to produce here. And that's all I got. If you enjoy this video, let me know. Thanks. I'll see you guys. Bye.